ELON and Doge, we're kicking down the door, rolling to the S.E.C, time to settle the score. ELON in the game, breaking all the chains, Doge by his side, they don't play no games. Step into the S.E.C, watch them all sweat. We uncovering the fraud, ain't no secrets left. Naked shorts in the shadows, they've been creeping. Market manipulation, these crooks been sleeping. Retail's been trapped, but we bring in the fight. Musk and Doge on the rise, taking back the night. We in the S.E.C, exposing the lies. We're rooting out corruption, watch them meet their demise. Free the markets, make them fair once again. ELON and Doge rolling deep for the win. Dirty tricks they try to pull, shorting stocks, playing games like a fool. But we too sharp, we calling the bluff. Elon's got the plan, now the pressure's tough. Retail investors, time to get your share. No more rig markets, no more despair. Fraud's going down, we taking control. ELON and Doge breaking out of the mold. We in the S.E.C, exposing the lies. Rooting out corruption, watch them meet their demise. Free the markets, make them fair once again. ELON and Doge rolling deep for the win. We on a mission, bring the truth to light. No more naked shorts hiding out of sight. Retail power, we reclaiming the street. Musk and Doge bringing heat to Wall Street. S.E.C, exposing the lies. Rooting out corruption, watch them meet their demise. Free the markets, make them fair once again. ELON and Doge rolling deep for the win. Hey, we on a mission, bring the truth to light. No more naked shorts hiding out of sight. Retail power, we reclaiming the street. Musk and Doge bringing heat to Wall Street. Justice in our sight. Markets are free, we restore the light.
Let's go.
ELON in the front, Doge holding it down. They can't stop us, we taking back the crown. Frauds uncovered, justice in our sight. Markets are free, we restore the light.
Buckle up, folks. We are diving into something big that will probably send shockwaves throughout the financial sector around the world and put some serious cash in the pockets of retail investors. I'll explain. Today, March 21st, 2025, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, Wall Street watchdog, is in total meltdown. Hundreds of staffers are bolting out the door. Yep, quite literally. They're cashing in on a jaw-dropping $50,000 buyout. Our man Donald Trump here is offering them $50,000 to quit or retire, and over 12% of the entire agency is probably going to be gone by April 4th. This isn't chaos. It's President Trump and Elon Musk's radical plan to remake the Securities and Exchange Commission into a leaner, meaner machine while spending less money and having better financial oversight. Here's the important part. This could be insanely bullish for retail investors worldwide. Let's break it down so you can understand. Reuters and U.S. News, amongst others here, are dropping these exclusives that the SEC is bleeding talent. Of course, you can see that the SEC under Trump told the staff to return to the office. And of course, their union is claiming that that was illegal. This was February 27th. Well, it didn't take much time for them to turn around and say, okay, you know what? You don't want to actually work. You don't want to do any work. Get the hell out of here. This is really big news because there are some key players leaving, right? Some of the enforcement division, the general counsel's office, they're taking the money and running. But those are the same people that under Gary Gensler had flip-flopping regulation against crypto and were actually making judgments by enforcement. They're passing regulations without actually explaining what those regulations were. So all of this is part of Trump's mission to slash the bloated overreach in the bureaucracy that is this United States government, guys. Yes, Northwest Sasquatch says it's the great reset button that Hillary wanted to push so bad. Except this one is not being done by the deep state. The budget here for the SEC is facing the chopping block as Trump's team and the Department of Government Efficiency under Elon Musk aim to shrink federal waste, federal spending. Agencies had until the 13th of March to pitch the mass layoffs, and today is the deadline for the SEC to say goodbye with that sweet $50,000 check. They've got about 10 minutes left from this very moment to claim their 50 grand and be out the door. A lot of people here are well aware of the fact that you could probably run the SEC not with 4,000 plus employees like they currently have, but with just a handful of good employees that are actually working, that show up to the office, that aren't out there trying to take out the little guy, that aren't out there trying to work against retail investors, but that are actually trying to stop market manipulation and naked shorting and all sorts of other issues that are going on markets. I won't name them all right now. That might sound like a disaster to people to have less staff and less cash, but you're wrong. Here's why this could actually be a gold mine. Think about it. Trump's new SEC chair, Paul Atkins, is facing the Senate next week for confirmation on March 27th. And he hates over-regulation and government overreach. He hates big corporate fines that punish retail shareholders and clog the system. Not to mention, he's also adamantly opposed to market manipulation and naked shorting. Back in his stint from 2002 through July of 2008, he voted against slamming giants like Citigroup and IBM, arguing that the SEC should chase the fraudsters within the company, not just the company itself, putting people in jail, taking people's licenses away, the things that retail investors actually want to see occur on financial markets. We don't want to see Citigroup get fined for 2 or 3 or 4 people that are in there committing crimes. We want those people to go to prison, to lose their ability to actually trade and abuse retail investors. Fast forward to now. Atkins could lighten the regulatory load on these businesses, slash the red tape that is slowing down innovation and jacking up the costs. Having less bloat in the bureaucracy means faster approvals for IPOs, for mergers, for new products. Think crypto ETFs or blockchain stocks hitting the market at warp speed. Retail investors actually getting first dibs on the opportunities instead of waiting for endless SEC reviews and not being able to invest in them. And it's not just speed. The SEC under Trump here and the pivot could protect retail investors over Wall Street fat cats. Atkins wants to audit foreign firms. Yes, foreign firms on U.S. exchanges, like sketchy Chinese companies and stocks, ensuring that they're actually legit instead of scams that are used to drain your pensions and 401ks. So on February 21st, there was a memo by the White House that promised to fast track investments from allies and block cash from adversaries like China. More transparency, less fraud. Plus, with less funding, the SEC might ditch their woke ESG obsession. Their DEI hires, which have already been made illegal under the administration, and those climate and diversity rules that tank shareholder value could actually be used to refocus on raw market efficiency. This could unleash the bulls by letting companies grow without the handcuffs of a nanny state. Yes, B. Hamers says the creation of the External Revenue Service and reciprocal tariffs on April 2nd will cause an explosion. If that explosion means that we no longer have to pay taxes to the Internal Revenue Service on a large arbitrary percentage of our income and instead pay it on a consumption basis, I would be all for it. Globally, folks, this is seismic. A leaner Securities and Exchange Commission could make U.S. markets the place to invest, hands down. Because in case you didn't know, billions of dollars over the last few months have been leaving the United States and going to Europe, Asia, and other emerging markets. America's financial engine roars again with less oversight, less drag. Stock prices could soar, and we could see new all-time highs. Think retail investors worldwide riding this wave through ETFs, crypto, stocks, all based off of the pro-crypto vibes being pushed here by the Trump administration and Paul Atkins. Now that they've pushed out the anti-crypto and anti-retail chairman, Gary Gensler, this could greenlight a crypto and stock market boom. Meanwhile, crushing market manipulators and those that commit crimes against retail investors at the same time, potentially forcing them to close out positions in highly over-leveraged short positions. Now, critics like CNN right now, guys, you guys can only imagine what they're saying. They're claiming that gutting the SEC's useless 4,000 employees and leaving in those people that actually want to work, that actually want to make a difference, that aren't just there trying to act as a stepping stone to going to work for the hedge funds and market makers. Those employees actually want to help people. They actually want to make a difference and work in the government sector in order to help everybody around the world and prevent financial crimes. A smaller, sharper Securities and Exchange Commission could prioritize nailing the bad actors instead of babysitting every penny. So less staff doesn't mean less power. It means a smarter usage of that power. The team here, under Trump and ELON and the new SEC chair, Paul Atkins, could redirect cash into tax cuts, infrastructure, and save billions of dollars that are spent each year now on the Securities Exchange Commission, fueling economic growth and financial market growth. This could mean cheaper trades, hotter stocks, and a market that actually rewards retail investors, and where criminals that are committing the crimes at some of these big firms, I won't name names, I'll leave that to you folks, but you have seen all of the fines that we've told you guys about and all of the literal crimes, white-collar crimes, and theft that's happened. These people could actually be taken out. And this isn't just a little thing. Just yesterday, London Metals Exchange was slapped with a measly €9 million fine for manipulating the precious metals markets and financials markets and causing chaos during the nickel squeeze of 2022. Thousands of retail investors were left in the dark, their profitable trades were reversed, and they lost billions of dollars collectively. Nickel, the precious metal, squoze to over $100,000. $100,000. That was a 100% increase in just about an hour. And LME let it happen. They made big mistakes, and they reversed people's trades. So they physically took millions of dollars out of individual traders' accounts at a time to prevent themselves from going bankrupt. Why haven't people been arrested for this? Why haven't people been sent to prison over this? Because these regulators give them a measly 9 million euro slap on the wrist, about 10 million US. But imagine how much money they saved or made by manipulating markets for all of this time. And in case you were unaware, between March 4th and March 8th, the price of LME's 3-month nickel futures contract culminated at a point where it rose to over $100,000, more than double the closing price from the day prior, with most of that rise occurring in less than an hour. They suspended the nickel market trading for 8 days, more than a week, and canceled all nickel trades that took place on that date, March 8th. Imagine how many people got screwed. They made good investments. They bought low and they sold high, and they got screwed by the London Metals Exchange. And all they got was a slap on the wrist. Does this sound familiar to the SLV, the silver ETF that was put under position close only by companies like Robinhood, IBKR, Webull, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, and hundreds of other brokerage firms? Yes, it does. Does it sound familiar to what happened with GameStop and AMC? Very much so. COS, headphone stock, BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond, Express, etc. Over 50 other stocks in which this has happened. Why aren't people going to jail? Why aren't people's licenses to trade being taken away? Because they get slaps on the wrist and everybody is okay with it. It's the cost of doing business. Under Paul Atkins, we just might see that change. And thankfully now, with his confirmation hearing scheduled for March 27th, we could very much look forward to that. Now, the research here suggests that he supported measures against naked short selling and market manipulation during his 2002 to 2008 tenure at the SEC. He voted for Regulation Show to stop naked shorting and market manipulation in 2004, requiring securities locates before short selling. But after he left in 2008, the SEC dropped the ball, and the evidence leans toward him voting to eliminate the uptick rule in 2007 as well, favoring legitimate short selling while addressing the abuses of naked shorting and synthetic share creation. Now, there's unexpected detail in his unanimous support for strengthening naked short selling rules in 2007, showing that he actually has a balanced approach. And we just might be seeing that, folks. Now, he did leave the SEC in August of 2008 before the collapse. His role involved overseeing the securities regulation, focusing on financial services and investor protections. And during that time, short selling, including naked short selling and market manipulation, was a huge regulatory concern, especially given the market volatility and financial crisis that led up to the 2008 GFC. In 2004, the SEC adopted Reg Show aimed at reducing naked short selling, where a practice where shares are sold short without borrowing them, leading to market manipulation. And Paul Atkins, was part of the unanimous vote to implement this regulation, which required broker-dealers to locate securities before short selling and impose the delivery requirements for these securities with substantial fails to deliver. This demonstrated his support for stopping the abusive practices. And in 2007, the SEC voted 5-0 with Paul Atkins to eliminate the uptick rule, a long-standing restriction that allowed short sales only at a price higher than the last trade. Atkins' vote in favor of that elimination indicated his belief in allowing legitimate short selling. But in reality, the market maker exemption still needs to be addressed, because the uptick rule, being able to short sell during an uptick, during a price increase, or, shouldn't really be possible, even if it's on the way down as well under the market maker exemption. So it allowed certain fails to deliver to persist under Reg Show, and the removal required clearing all of the fails, further addressing the market manipulation concerns by Atkins. So he does show a balanced approach here, in which they're facilitating legitimate short selling while trying to take decisive steps against naked short selling and market manipulation. Because if you guys know, you guys ever heard a company like, Evergrande? You ever heard of a company like FTX and many others out there, that Enron, that likely deserve to be shorted? Yeah, there's a lot of them. but there's much more that are actually being abused. Now, keep in mind, right now, folks, in case you're unaware, under Trump, we are also seeing that the CEO, that the top 3 positions at Freddie Mac and the FHFA, the Federal Housing and Finance Authority, have actually been fired. This happened just yesterday. The CEO, the Chief Executive Officer, the Chief Operations Officer, and the head of Human Resources were all fired yesterday, according to SEMA4, at Freddie Mac and the Federal Housing Finance Administration. This is, of course, big news and something that we continue to see under Donald Trump. Now, at the same time, he has also dismantled the Department of Education and is laying off a lot of the bureaucracy and bloat that is occurring there. In case you didn't know, over 2/3 of all the money that is given to the Department of Education that should be going to our students, our children, 2/3 of it is going to administrative costs at the Department of Education and is not going to the states. It is not going to schools. That is the government bloat that the Department of Government Efficiency is working to get rid of. In case you're unaware, here is a screenshot of the Lit Exchange app parking lot in which all apes are welcome. We have gone ahead and put that sign up. Of course, I'm being facetious here, but it is absolutely hilarious. And you will be seeing this sign coming soon at Lit Exchange. Folks, in case you're unaware, you should take a look into Lit Exchange. So far, over 350 retail investors have invested over $650,000 in the company because the company, Lit Exchange, is designed as a upcoming stock and crypto brokerage to protect you from the very market manipulation we're talking about now, from naked shorting, from synthetic shares, all of this, from dark pools and payment for order flow, while receiving bleeding edge innovations with the assistance of artificial intelligence and the ability to achieve swarm intelligence with thousands of your best friends all in the same place. So you can go ahead and do all your due diligence, check out all the information there, view our S.E.C filings directly from our website and the FINRA regulated funding portal, Silicon Prairie, which is what you're seeing on the left. So go ahead and do yourself a favor, look into it. And if you don't want to invest in the company, you can join the waitlist simply with your email address. There are thousands of retail investors already signed up for Lit Exchange, waiting for our launch. Go ahead and do yourself a favor. Pretty soon we will be marketing this here coming next month. And once the marketing begins, then you will probably no longer have the chance to invest in the company because it will reach its max goal at some point. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you peace and wealth. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Do yourself a favor. If you want to stop market manipulation, you know none of these pricks are going to stop, so we have to do it ourselves. We have to avoid the payment for order flow from the price distorting dark pools. We have to take away their ability to create synthetic shares and process orders on lit markets, and nobody's going to fucking do that for you. You want to do it, you've got to make it happen yourself. Hence, Lit Exchange. Cheers, folks. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you all, founding members. I see you guys. Johan, thank you very much. Nicholas, everybody, our lead investors, thank you very much for becoming founders.